Hey YouTube, Andreo Photo here, coming to you with yet another street photography video. So for today's video, Fujifilm Philippines sent their brand new X-E4 to my friend Nico to do a review. Nico wanted to do a comparison video between his X-E4 and my X-T4 for street photography. So if you're already watching this, his video is live and out now. You can check it in the description below. But for my channel and for my video, I wanted to focus a little bit more on the X-E4. It'll be a little bit of a mix of a lot of things. It'll be a video about my first impressions about the camera. It'll also be a behind the scenes video. It'll also have a little bit of a street photography POV involved. And please stay tuned for the end. So when I give my conclusions and my final thoughts about using the X-E4 for street photography. Okay, so before we begin the video, as always, please like, share, and subscribe. You guys will be helping the channel out a lot and you'll be inspiring me to make more content like this for you guys. So without much further ado, let's get on to the video. Let's go. Okay, let's go test out the X-E4. Okay, People Places Asia right there. And the X-E4. I haven't actually seen it in person yet. Whoa! Oh, you got it in silver! Oh yeah pala, it's in silver! Nice! Dude, exciting!
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Let's
test
it out.
Yes, sir! Okay, so first impressions of the X-E4 before we head out. Here are the pros. The first and most striking difference between the X-E4 and my X-T4 is the size. The X-E4 struck me as so lightweight and compact. It kind of reminds me of my X100F back home. It's really a portable camera. The second thing is that this mid-range camera has the same sensor as my higher-end X-T4. I still can't believe that they were able to fit the tech that they have in my X-T4 in this tiny and compact body. Now, the cons. The X-E4 doesn't have an ISO sensitivity dial. I'm really used to having immediate and accurate control of my ISO via the dial on the top plate of my X-T4. This is especially true when I'm out on the streets shooting fast-paced subjects. The X-E4 also doesn't have an autofocus selector. I'm very used to having the autofocus selector within hand's reach and ready to change on the camera. As Nico said, he has problems with this as well, as he has to dive into the menu to change the autofocus from single to continuous or manual. Although the X-E4 has video capabilities like shooting 4K 30p, 8-bit video recording, and also slow-mo up to 240 frames per second, it still doesn't have IBIS. In-body image stabilization. Nico was going to record some clips for this video with the X-E4 and he had to request to borrow one of my lenses with OIS, which is optical image stabilization. And lastly, the X-E4 doesn't have a dedicated drive dial like my X-T4. Instead, it has this little drive delete button which you have to press on its back panel to get to the drive mode settings. I also like a dedicated drive dial on my X-T4 because it allows me to switch from single shot to burst mode on the fly. This is especially useful for me on the streets. Okay, so those were my initial impressions after seeing the X-E4. More on this later. Okay, and off we go. X-E4. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, let's test it out.
Yeah. Okay, so we shot the intro for Nico's video here. I won't include that segment in my video, so head on over to his channel after watching this video to check it out. Do you want me to video you first? I'll
I'll follow you around and you take photos with your X-E4?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll test out the X-E4 first, 23mm, and Nico's gonna video me with the X-E4 with the 10 to 24. So I've had this camera for a few months now. I got it mainly because of its video capabilities. I wanted to focus more on creating content for this channel, and the X-T4 was the best of both worlds in terms of photo and video. So when comparing my X-T4 to the X-E4, right off the bat, all I can say is that the X-T4 is heavy. Even with my previous POVs, I've always found myself nursing my wrist after hours on the street. Hey, that's just a spoiled mirrorless camera geek talking. I know film, DSLR, and full frame people must be laughing right now, but hey, your boy has a weak wrist, so cut me some slack, will ya? The X-T4 is not made to be sleek and compact, as it's chock full of features and all the dials that you could ever want. Aside from that, initial notes are that the sensor and autofocus on this thing is blazingly fast. I've never had a problem so far with street subjects. So we didn't plan this at all, but it looks like we have the same outfit, from black shoes, green pants, some blue shirts,
What can I say?
and rockin' Fuji camera.
Fujifilm camera is completed. Yeah. This is the Baguio street photographer look.
Yeah, actually. Okay, so now we're trading cameras. X-T4 goes to Nico, and let's see what the X-E4 is like. Reveal. What better way to test my first shot on the X-E4 than on a jeepney with flames? I tried to have some fun with this shot. Okay, now let's talk about flip screens. The X-E4 has a flip-forward screen which is suitable for vlogging. It can flip all the way forward towards the front of the camera, albeit with some parts of it covered by the X-E4's body. It also flips out to help you with your low-angle shots or even with your overhead shots as seen here. The X-T4, on the other hand, has a fully articulating screen, which means it can swing out completely to the side and face the front of the camera to show you what you're videoing. It can also go low, overhead, and even swing out to aid you in your vertical shots. While some people may dislike the X-T4 screen, I find that it's been one of the features of the X-T4 which I've used the most. So we found this waiting shed in an area with lots of foot traffic. I decided to slink in behind the posts and lie in wait for good fishing opportunities. Sure enough, I got a photo that I was pretty happy with. I feel like this photo has a lot of Baguio elements in it. The cowboy hat, the trusty Tamarao FX, and the strong little girl with what looks to be like a native spear in her hand. Pretty cool in my opinion. Well, how's it so far?
Yeah, man. X-E4.
Dude, I think we're freaking twinning, right?
Yeah.
This is so funny, I swear to God. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see if I can get a good shot of this.
Yeah. Ah, okay, I got what you're gonna do.
Yeah, something like this. Let's see.
Nice, nice.
So this is a really nice flower wall. Nico was just standing over there, and still is. And I think the shot is pretty nice. Okay, time check. It's 9 o'clock. We're in the middle of the shoot, and so far, so we just realized we're twinning, right? I mean, literally, this is funny. We're really twinning. So how are you? So how do you find the X-E4 versus the X-E4 so far?
X-T4 definitely like really nice grip, and the viewfinder is amazing. I feel like I'm looking with my own eyes through the camera. And then the performance is really nice. It's really fast. But putting the X-E4 back into my hands again after borrowing the X-T4, it's a definitely smaller, definite difference in size.
X-E4's been interesting. The form factor is definitely something to consider. It's so small and so light compared to the X-T4. This thing's really, yeah, it weighs a ton compared to the X-E4 at least. We shot for a bit more after this with Nico trying out the X-T4. By the way, I recorded these clips with a GoPro mounted to the hot shoe of the X-E4. As previously mentioned, the X-E4 doesn't have IBIS, but if paired with a lens with OIS, the video is still pretty usable. Check out the X-E4 video samples in Nico's video later. So we just finished. No, are we calling it a day? And then final conclusions?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So yeah, the weather today is nice, but the light came out very harsh. It's around 10 a.m. right now. So yeah, we're gonna do some conclusions na lang, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see how this goes. But overall, it was pretty fun using that X-E4. Yeah. Anyway, let's save it for the conclusions. So we went to Lemon and Olives, my wife's restaurant, to grab a bite and record the final segment of the video. We thought we had it in the bag after a smooth shoot, but Nico realized later that the audio was shot because there was just too much echo and reverb in the room that we recorded in. So, hey guys, if you're wondering where we are right now, we're in Lemon, and why do I have a shaved head? Well, that's because we're redoing the audio for the last segment of Nico's vlog. So this is another day, and I'm helping him out finish his vlog up. Shooting went pretty well this time. Audio was A-okay. I think we were able to wrap it up for Nico's video. Alright guys, so that was the behind the scenes video of the X-E4. Again, thank you to People Places Asia for having me on this vlog. Thanks, Nico. Yeah, so final thoughts on the X-T4 X-E4 comparison. Well, basically the X-E4 is so light and the form factor is great. It's really different from a chunky X-T4 that I normally use for street photography. This one is a chunky boy. It's very, very heavy, and this one is very sleek and very thin. I'd love to use the X-E4 with a pancake lens, with a lens with a reduced profile. I am excited to try that in the future. What else can I say? Well, basically the X-T4 has a bigger battery. The X-E4 still uses the old proprietary NP126S battery of Fujifilm, which is still good, but then the X-T4's battery holds more juice. The X-T4 has dual card slots and is weather sealed. The X-E4 only has a single card slot and it's not weather sealed. But basically, as I've said again in the video before, all of the guts of the X-T4 is in the X-E4. The performance, photo-wise, is basically the same. Snappy autofocus, great sensor, really nothing much to complain about. If you want the photo capabilities of the X-T4 in a much smaller body, go with the X-E4. But for video, of course, I don't think anything can beat the X-T4 as of the moment. It's really made for both photo and video. 4K 60p, baby. That's all I can say with the X-T4. So yeah, again, that was the behind the scenes vlog. Thank you again to People Places Asia. Go give him a follow on Instagram and YouTube. One more thing before I end this video. I'd just like to add that after really taking a look at the X-E4, I would have to say that it being lightweight is both a pro and a con. I was trying to get a feel for the camera by comparing it to my X Pro 2. The X Pro 2 weighs around 100 grams more than the X-E4 and is weather resistant, and it feels so much more hefty and durable. Yes, the X-E4 is compact and lightweight and it doesn't have the weather resistance that's built in like the X Pro 2s, but it just doesn't feel as hefty as it should be, if you get my drift. Just take what I said with a grain of salt. Okay, so there you have it. I tried to make this review as comprehensive as I could. If you like this review, please consider giving me a sub and let me know what other cameras or lenses you want me to review on the streets. This is Andreo Photo, signing off.